is that I have been appearing for Z for many years now. So Z is one exam in which there is no sectional cutoff. I mean, the way you have in CAT now from last few years. Previously, it was not there in CAT as well, right? So from last few years now, CAT has a sectional cutoff that you have to do a particular section in the particular time given to you. Z never had a sectional cutoff. So we have approximately 3 hours. So nowadays we have 165 minutes. 15 minutes are for GK. In those 165 minutes, completely you can just do whatever you feel like. I mean, you can do only quant, you can do only verbal ability, you can do only decision making. So what has been the case in the last few years that I have been doing quant a lot, because ultimately the purpose for us was, right, for writing Z was that let's just analyze it as soon as possible the moment we come out of the exam. So before it became online, when it was a paper based paper, so we just used to do the complete quant over there. We'll come back at the office, and after that we'll just straight away give you the answer keys of the paper as soon as possible. So this is what the purpose was. So we used to spend our all time on quantitative section, and obviously if you do that, obviously your score in quantitative ability would be good. So therefore I've been scoring 99.99 percentile in ZQA, and I've scored it approximately 5-6 times before this. Now comes the important point. Hi Manjusha, Shivanshu, Linsa, good evening all of you. Hi Siddharth. I'll come to that, Vishnu. I'll come to that. There is a sectional cutoff. I did not say there is no sectional cutoff. I'm talking about the sectional time. Probably I would have said that it is sectional cutoff. I meant to say sectional time limit is not there. Hi Sai Krishna. Good evening Aditya. Good evening everyone. Hanji. So who all are there? Hi Aryavratam. Priyanka, what topics are important? Priyanka, we have talked about that a lot. So Aryavratam, not only one, but yes, we'll talk about it. Okay. So hello Simran, hello. Okay, so what happened later on when it became online? So then I thought that probably now we don't have the paper with us, so obviously we cannot analyze the paper outside. So let me just write the paper by myself completely as a student, right? So I did it a few times. I tried with a few different kind of combinations. For example, sometimes I tried to do a lot of quant and a bit of others. Sometimes I kept the I would say the structure more balanced, that almost equal time I gave to all the three sections, but yes, a little bit more to the section which is in which I'm comfortable. So what happened there and what are the sectional cutoffs, what happens because of that, I'll be talking about all those things today, right? Uske bare mein we'll be talking. Hi Janish, good evening. Sneh, I am worried about quant. Okay, I'll take up all your questions today, as I told you yesterday as well, that in today's session, I will be telling you that how I did it and how you can also replicate it somehow. Plus, we will also talk about the whatever questions you have, that what should be done in quant, what should be done in decision making, or any kind of question that you might be having about that. I'll be taking about all those questions. Let us start, guys. So, शुरू करते हैं यहाँ से. हाँ जी. So the first important thing, an information for you, an announcement for you. As I told you that on 3rd of January 2021, we are having Z exam from 9:30 to 12:30, and 12:30 the exam get over, and the analysis of the exam we will straight away start at 12:45, right? And in that analysis we will be talking about the expected cutoffs, the overall difficulty level, any major changes, any major thing that is to be discussed. So we will be discussing about all those things in that session itself. So basically we have one person in the studio, other people over the phone would be telling about everything, that how would it go, right? So this is what we are going to have on 3rd of January, right? So stay tuned to Gradeup channel. We'll be talking about all those things, and immediately we'll give you basically you can say a summary of the paper. How was it? So what approximately cutoff should be there? We'll talk about all those things, right? Alok, I would say that just keep these questions currently with you. At the end of this session, I'll ask you of any questions. There will be an open house. You can ask about anything at that time. Okay. Yes, Srina, geometry is heavy. That's right. Quant के बारे में, yes, I understand. Most of the people are quite, scared of quantitative aptitude. So we will talk about that. We'll talk about that. Okay. Hi Nandesh, the target is XLRI. How much priority should be given to GK? Okay, Nandesh, we'll talk about that as well. Yes, Nandesh, I will definitely reply to that. But as I said, I will reply to all your questions at the end of the session. Let's just first talk about whatever I want to talk in this session. Uske baad I'll take up all your questions. Okay. I hope that is okay with all of you. ठीक है. First thing, you all know the XAT exam pattern now. There would be 75 MCQs, 21 questions in decision making, 26 questions in verbal and logical ability, and 28 questions sorry, in QA and DI. So that makes it 75 questions, and there are 25 questions in the part 2, which is general knowledge. The part 2 is of 15 minutes, the part 1 is of 165 minutes. No sectional time limit, as I told you, all 165 minutes. You can do any one of the sections. That is completely up to you. How do you want to do it? You already know about all these things. If I talk about the cutoffs, these are the percentiles for the cutoff percentiles for business management, XLRI. So basically there are two courses in XLRI. One is BM, one is HRM, right? So for HRM, we generally say that this is probably the best course for HR in India. Might be very close to TIS, which is for again for HR, or SCMHRD or MDI HR. So, but this is considered to be the best. So these are the cutoffs for these. I mean, in 2020. So overall cutoff for males and females, there were two different cutoffs. This year there are going to be probably 4 cutoffs. So in males they have done 2 segregations, and females also they have done 2 segregations. So 95, I mean engineers and non-engineers type. So 95 for males, 93 for females. Overall it was, but if you look at the sectional percentiles, the sectional cutoffs, so for VALR and for decision making, they were in 70s, but for quantitative aptitude, they were in 80s for males. For females, they were all in 70s approximately. These are the cutoffs for BM. And as far as HR is concerned, these are slightly lower than BM. So for HR, you will see that 95 has become 93, because this figure for BM is 95. It has come down to 91. Similarly, this is from 93 to 91. And this figure has also decreased, but this has increased. ध्यान से देखिए तो this was 74 for BM. For HRM, they are saying it is 79. Decision making, it was 78 before. It has decreased. Quantitative ability has decreased. This has decreased. This has decreased. But here again, you see it has increased for HRM. So basically, we can say for HRM course, XLRI is looking for a higher score in verbal ability. In others, it can be a bit lower than those, right? So what depend करेगा उस पे? QA and DI breakup. Sai Harish, if there are 28 questions, there is a good possibility that 22 questions will be from QA, 6 would be from DI, though they have not spoken about it. They never said that how many QA and DI would be there. But generally in the last few years, the number of DI questions have been around 6 only, right? Non-engineer BM QA cutoff. Oh God. So that will be slightly difficult for me to tell. Anup, I think it would be somewhere around 80. If it was 85 for engineers, so it would be somewhere around 80 in my opinion. Though you can find these things on the XAT website itself. There you would be finding it, the exact figures for it. I didn't apply for any of the XLRI, but if I get the required cutoff, will I be able to apply for the same? No, Rajiv, you have to apply before the last date. Okay? So if the last date has gone, you won't be able to apply. So keep that in mind. आप CMAT का class क्यों नहीं कराएंगे? Adya, we don't have, I think, any specific batch for CMAT right now. In future, if there is any, we will be taking up that as well. ठीक है? वो होगा जरूर, लेकिन अगर अभी तक तो नहीं है. What is the marks to percentile conversion for 99 percentile? अभी बात करते हैं उसके बारे में. इस बार DI के 3 सेट आ रहे हैं, 3 marks each set. Okay, I don't have any such information, Vaibhav. I think Z has not given any such information that how much DI would be there. Not as far as I know. Little unfair for engineers males. No, Sai Harish, I would not say it is unfair. The reason is that for engineers, obviously the quant would be on the easier side as well, because they are into the habit of doing quants, right? And moreover, engineers are basically competing against the engineers. Then if you have a separate cutoff for engineers, and the non-engineers are competing with the non-engineers only. Karthik, for all the colleges, you have to apply separately. Once you apply to Z, it's not that you are automatically eligible for all the colleges. You have to apply for them separately. Look for their last dates for application, and accordingly, please apply before that. हाँ जी, अभी बात करेंगे इन सब चीज़ों के बारे में. एज आई सेट कि मैं क्वेश्चंस आपके बाद में लूंगा. एवरीवन वांट टू क्रैक जेड. अभी उसके बारे में हम लोग आराम से बात करेंगे. दीपक, संदीप, श्रीना, प्लीज आस्क योर क्वेश्चंस एट द एंड ऑफ द सेशंस. हम लोग उसके बारे में बात करेंगे. ठीक है. गौरांग, यस देयर इज अ सेपरेट कट ऑफ फॉर नॉन इंजीनियर्स. लेट्स मूव अहेड. सो नाउ आई एम गोइंग टू शो यू वन ऑफ माय स्कोर कार्ड्स. ठीक है, फ्रॉम जेड 2018. सो जस्ट हैव अ लुक एट दिस. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल एक बार देखिए इसको. That's great, Aman. Therefore, only I said कि you should do it because it will definitely increase your confidence. And that's exactly what you are saying. It helped you. No, Karthik, you have to apply for XLRI as well separately. You will have to. For all the colleges, you will have to apply separately. Okay. So if you look at this scorecard, right? So I have scored 99.9 percentile here in quantitative ability, 92.9 in verbal ability, and in decision making 91.9. As I told you that after the exam went online, then I started doing all the three sections. So I saw this that year. So do not look at this score, because first of all I did not want to take admission in XLRI, so I was not serious. Secondly, even if I had been serious, I would not have scored more than this, because my GK is actually this bad. So even if this 36%, how did it come, I don't know. Now if I'm talking about the other three, quantitative ability, verbal ability, and decision making, right? See, when I say decision making, 46.429 percentage score. So out of 21 questions, if you calculate 46.429, so that will be somewhere around 10, right? And if I talk about verbal and logical ability, so again there were 26 questions, so 40% of that would be somewhere around 10.5, right? Forget about this. The point is, if I have done 10 questions in verbal ability, I have done 10 questions in decision making. Here when I say 10 questions, that means net 10 questions correct, right? That means after the wrong questions, negative marking is done, and net 10 questions are correct. In that case as well, I see that my percentile crosses 90, whereas you just saw on the previous screen that the cutoff for these sections is in 70s. It is in 74, 76 kind of figure, right? So how did I do the paper in 2018? Let me tell you. So when I appeared for this exam, this is what exactly I did. So I thought that, okay, verbal ability and decision making, these are those two in which I am not very comfortable, obviously with respect to quantitative ability. I spent some time on verbal and logical ability. First of all, I saw that I am more comfortable in verbal rather than RC, so I did some of the questions which are from VA, a set of RC. Then I went to decision making. So you can see that out of 21, I scored 10. I did only those 10, 11 questions in which I was very comfortable. If I'm not wrong, I did only 13 or 14 questions. I think two or three of them were wrong. And this whole thing took me around an hour, 60 minutes. So 30 minutes in verbal ability and 30 minutes in decision making. Probably 40 minutes in decision making. Decision making, you have to read a lot. It might take a longer time then. So By doing that in those 70 minutes, then I saw that my score has already crossed 10 according to me. I thought though कि ठीक है 10 plus हो गया होगा, and 10 plus score means I must have scored 90 plus percentile in these sections. Then I had a lot of time for the other section now. 70 minutes I have spent on this, so I have 95 minutes for quantitative ability. I went there, I just did whatever I knew, I did each and everything, whatever I could. One of the questions I got wrong, the remaining questions I got correct. So my percentile there was 99.9, and you look at the total percentile because of that. I just wanted to clear my cutoff in the other two sections, and I did a lot in the section in which I was comfortable, and suddenly I saw that my score, overall score, that also increased by a lot, and my percentile became 99.9 percentile in that. Right? That you can see here. So this, even if I was a student, right? And if I look at this scorecard, my strategy would be very clear. The strategy is the topic I am comfortable at, right? I will just do as many questions as I can in half an hour or 35 minutes. Then I pick up the second section, again 30-35 minutes. And then the section in which I am very comfortable, I'll just go there and I'll do everything I can. And that will actually increase my overall score. So just clear the sectional cutoffs in two of them, and then do the complete thing in the third, and this will increase your overall percentile. Your sectional cutoffs are clear, you have a very good chances to get into XLRI or what. What we generally make a mistake here is that if we have a total of, let's say 165 minutes, we just divide by 3, 55, 55, 55. We feel we should do 55 minutes VA, 55 minutes DM and 55 minutes QA. There is no need to do it. I'm saying just clear your cutoffs in two of these sections and then increase your score in third. Or if in one of these sections you are not very comfortable, many people are saying, sir, we are not very comfortable in quantitative ability. Okay, be comfortable in verbal ability, then be comfortable in decision making. Do just 10 or 11 questions in quantitative ability. We have already taken some sessions on quantitative ability where I told you, I showed you that how many questions were there which were very easy in the paper, and you all agreed with me that yes, there were 10-11 questions which were extremely easy. Find out those 10-11 questions, the easier ones, do them in 30 minutes, leave quantitative ability, and then go to decision making and verbal ability, and then increase your score over there. It's as simple as this. And this has actually worked for me here as well. I see this. I hope this point is clear to you, right? I'll show you one another now. I have another scorecard for 2017 as well. Now just look at this percentile, this scorecard as well. Obviously, I want to give you an idea about these percentiles, that how can you just with these percentiles as well can score good. And obviously, I want to tell you this as well, that I am the topper. So these are my scores. So show off is also important. So I am showing off these things. Plus, I am also telling you something about clearing the cutoffs. So let me tell you, and it's a very, very honest thing that I'm telling you, completely truthful. 2017 XAT was the first XAT when I appeared for decision making, and I am not lying, guys. I can give it to you in writing. First time I appeared for decision making, I mean seriously, otherwise I've done it before as well. Seriously, for the first time I did decision making, and before this I attended a 3-hour session from my guru, basically, who was teaching DM to students. So I went there, I attended the 3-hour sessions. This is the score that I received from that 3-hour session alone. For all the people who are asking me that what can we do in these 2-3 days, we are not very good at quantitative ability. Let me tell you guys, and I have experienced this, I'm telling you by my experience, you still have 3 days, Thursday, Friday and Saturday. In these 3 days as well, you can improve your decision making like anything. Trust me, I'm telling you this by experience. This is truth that I'm telling you here. In 3-hour session of decision making, I was able to get this much of percentile. The only skill that you need is you should be logically good. How to do that? I'm just giving you a simple rule now. In these 3 days, every day pick up 2 papers of previous Z papers. I mean tomorrow pick up Z20 and Z19. Day after that, Friday ko pick up Z18 and Z17, and next day pick up Z16 and Z15. Each of these days do complete decision making sections of those 2 papers throughout the day, right? And after doing this, I am extremely sure about this, that after doing this on Sunday during the exam, you will be extremely comfortable about decision making, and in that decision making you can surely score very good. Trust me that this is the score after a 3-hour session. If you can score well in decision making, out of 21 questions, if you are able to do 15-16 questions, who can stop you? I mean, look at this, my final score, that is 63.54, that is 99.873. Probably you are not looking for 99.873, right? You might be looking for some other score as well. Let's say you are looking for a percentile like, sir, 95 or 96 percentile. If 99.873 comes at 63, it does not mean that 99 or 98 will be at around 60 or 50. No, in the range from 99 to 100, the percentage score increases a lot. There is a possibility that 99 percentile would have occurred at 50 percentage score. That's quite possible. Possibly 98 occurred at 45%, though I'm not very sure about this. I should be having some data for it. But yes, it changes a lot. I have some data for that as well. I'll be showing it to you. But here again, in this case, you can again see the same thing that I showed you in Z 2018 paper, right? इसमें भी आप ध्यान से देखिए जरा, कुछ ऐसा ही नहीं हो रहा है. So here again, what did I do? I first of all did verbal ability, logical ability. Verbal and logical ability. My percentage score is 36.46 out of 26. 26 में से 36%, right? It was around 9 to 10, and this again cleared my cutoff because it was 74 point something percentile, but this was on the verge, I would say. I should have done a bit more. 53.57, this is slightly higher than the cutoff, so I have made my score here. But again, quant was one area for which I was extremely comfortable, so I did it completely. I scored a percentile of 99.999, and to tell all of you, and I am proud of it, you should be proud of me, that I was the topper of the exam that year in quantitative aptitude. This is the highest percentile a person can get in Z, 99.999, and only one person gets it, so I got it that year. I am happy with that, right? So straight away you can say my overall rank was 1 lakh minus 99873, so approximately 127th rank raha hoga mera all over India. But in verbal ability I did not do good. You can have the same thing in quantitative ability. Sorry, yes, you score less in quantitative ability, but then do good in verbal ability and have a good score. Decision making, I always feel, is the deciding factor here. In decision making section, you can even score 17 or 18 out of 21. This is one area to which generally people do not pay attention to, but actually this is the area which can increase your score by anything. 53% score I got. 53% ka matlab out of 21, this will be somewhere around 12, I suppose. So 12 ke score pe bhi see, I am getting 127th rank all over India. Even after doing only 9 to 10 questions in verbal ability, because of that also I am getting this. Are you getting my point? What I want to say from these basically, right? So to be a topper, you actually do not need any separate mindset for it. You just need a strategy for it. And that strategy is very clear. In those sections you are not comfortable, just clear your cutoff. Spend 30, 35, 40 minutes. That will clear your cutoff. In the remaining sections, you can increase your score by anything that you want. I have also done a comparison of this thing now here on the next page for Z 2017, the scorecard that I just showed you. This is the comparison of Z 2017 itself, right? Look at Z 2017. Abhijit says your quant is too strong. Yes, my verbal is not. So your verbal could be too strong. Your quant is not. Everyone has a strong area. So you just go into your strong area, score there, right? Forget about other things. Now here in this comparison, as I told you, okay, look at QA. So I showed you my score 95.37%. So the percentile was 99.999, right? Second is 75% पे भी the percentile is 99.7. Look at the difference in the two percentages. 95% से 75% is straight away 20 percentage points down. 20 percentage points down. And still your percentile dropped only by 0.2. Whereas when it went down by 25 percentage points, right? 20 पे कितना डिक्रीज हो रहा है 0.2, 25 पे कितना डिक्रीज हो रहा है 7 approximately. See the difference. So as I told you that to be into that 99 wala bracket, 99 to 100, you do not need to be 95% or 96% scorer. 75% jiska score hai, he is also getting 99.7. As I told you, probably the person who is scoring say 60%, he would also be in 99 percentile. That is a possibility. After that, this range becomes too long. Then at every percentage, the percentile changes by 1 or 2. Because most of the people are in the range of that 90, 95, 85 wala. So therefore there it increases or decreases a lot just by a change of 1 percentage point in your score. But the cutoff was 85, I told you. 50 से भी 38 तक आ जाओ, 38% score is giving you 82 percentile. So let us say 40% was giving you 85 percentile. 40% out of 26 questions, 26 ka 40% is 10.4. So approximately 10-11 questions in quant are actually clearing your cutoff in quantitative ability. Isn't it? A score of approximately 10 is clearing your cutoff in quantitative ability. If I look at the verbal ability portion now, look at this. Again, you will see 61 score pe 98.9 percentile. So again, if you go from 61 to 95, 96, all of those people are having a percentile from 99 to 100. 61 pe 98.9 matlab approximately 62, 63 pe 99. So 62, 63 से 100 तक, everyone is in the range of 99 to 100. That is the area which does not show into your percentile side, but actually your score is increasing because of that, right? A person having, let's say, 65% score in verbal ability, his percentile is, let's say, 99.1. But if he scores 95 percentile in percentage score in verbal ability, his score would be, let's say, 99.98 percentile. There is not much difference between 99.1 and 99.98. But the overall percentile of this guy might be 91. The overall percentile of this guy might be 99.3. Because of this increase in score, this score will increase your overall percentile by a lot. There it will definitely help you a lot, and there it can make a major difference. So do not look at that sectional percentile. How much does it improve? Look at it from only one perspective, that my sectional cutoff should be clear and my overall score should be at the highest possible. So obvious pointers ka, in the weaker sections, sectional cutoff should be clear. In the stronger section, I should increase my score such that my overall percentile increases, right? In decision making, not very people score very good. You can see 77% wale ka bhi 99.95 percentile is there. Even at 60.71 you have 98. 52% is also 92, right? 52% is 92. 48.96% is 92. 50% is 92. That means approximately half the section gives you approximately 92-93 percentile, right? Half of the section gives you 92-93 percentile. So 21 in decision making, do 10-11, you are above 90 for sure. 26 questions in verbal ability, do above 13, you are definitely above 92-93. In quantitative ability, 26 questions, do above 13, you are definitely above 92-93. Though I would say pick up your strong area and score well over there. This is the simple logic that I would say you all should adopt. Alright. So now you may ask any questions, whatever you have. You all wanted to ask me a few things. So now it is an open house. Keep on asking me questions and I'll keep on telling you the answers for those. Yes, any questions from any one of you? You had so many questions at the beginning of the session. Ask me the questions now. Even if you have asked your questions before, because I won't be able to go back and see those. My geometry and arithmetic is good, not good at PNC and moderate in algebra. Know some basics of number system. In this remaining days, what should be my strategy for quant? For conversion, GK is important. For XLRI, definitely important. Can you specify what all is taken into consideration with percentage breakup for XLRI like academic, work, XAT score? This all is taken into account. The exact percentages, Nandish, would be given on XLRI website. You can check it over there. Should we guess answers for unattempted question? Never. The negative marking for wrong answers is much higher than the unattempted ones. Never do that. I will talk about quant. I'll talk about quant. How do I boost my score for quant? Z colleges in the last. Any tips for quant days? Any videos for DM? Yes, Kirtana, there are some videos on DM on our YouTube channel only. Just find them out. Dipsit percentage for XLRA BM. I just showed it to you. It is approximately 95 percentile overall. I am moderate in all sections. It's fine to score good. Yes, Sneh, if you are moderate in all sections, just score 12, 13 in all of them and you are through. General count of questions for having a good score. For having a good score, I would say general count should be 45 to 50 questions with the accuracy of approximately 80%. Should we go for guesswork if we are not sure about accuracy in DM and verbal? No, don't do that. The negative marking would take you down. Ideal attempts, Chavi, I just told you about this. Chaitali, any tips for CR? No tips, just attend some of the sessions we have on CR. How to improve DM, solved 2020 paper and got most of them wrong. How to think about them? Sarthak, go for Z 19, 18, 17 papers as well. You will find their solutions as well. They are provided by Z itself. So just go through them, you will get it from there. In verbal facing difficulty, suggest tactics for clearing cutoffs in verbal. So just find out your strong area, Anurag, whether it is RC or verbal ability. So just go into that and clear your cutoff. Just 10 to 11 questions will clear your cutoff for sure. Surendra, your guess on quant difficulty level this year, can't say. It will be, I think, towards a moderate side or slightly above moderate. How much do we need to score in GK for XLRI Jamshedpur? At least 75 percentile, I suppose. Started my prep since a month. Have done just basics of quant. Will that be enough? Only basics would not suffice. For sure. Okay, so now most of you have one question that what to do in quant. क्या पढ़ें क्या ना पढ़ें उसके बारे में आप मुझसे पूछ रहे हैं. Let me just talk about that. Reliable solutions written to Z past papers where Manoj Singh, you will have to find out on the internet. Just search for them. It's not given there. Please tell us approximately how much weightage is for GK in XLRI. I think around 70-75%. Sorry, but GK क्या weightage के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. Nandish, I'll have to see that. I'm not very sure of that. VA is poor, so what should be an ideal attempt? Okay, an ideal attempt is anyways, if you want to go into XLRI, it has to be 12-13. Even if it is poor, you'll have to do that. As far as quant is concerned, most of you are asking me questions about quant. So let me tell you, there is a heavy weightage of geometry in Z along with arithmetic. Geometry and arithmetic, they both are extremely important. If you look at the last 3-4 years, there have been out of 21-22 questions of quant only, TI separately. Approximately 6 to 7 questions have been from geometry. So just read all the basics of geometry thoroughly, especially mensuration, right? And heights and distances, the questions which are based upon that sine theta, cos theta kind of thing, perpendicular by base, perpendicular by hypotenuse. CAT does not ask you questions on that, but Z does. Geometry के basics सारे revise कीजिए in these 3 days, plus arithmetic के जितने भी basics हैं, do revise all of them. These are the major important areas for Z. About algebra and number system, I can say that you can just leave them at this stage. I'm not saying they would not come. I'm not saying that you don't have to do questions from these, but most of the questions would be from these two areas, geometry and arithmetic. Do them thoroughly. In these 3 days, whatever best you can do. Some geometry, basics to thoroughly should be done. In geometry, read each and everything about triangles, read and everything about circles, about mensuration, about quadrilaterals, about polygons. वो सब पढ़ लीजिए. In arithmetic, read the basic formulas for each and everything, especially time, speed and distance, time and work. They ask a lot of questions which are based upon these areas. Now only 3 days are left. Obviously, I cannot give you any magic wand that just do this and you will be through. So all that you have done till now, That will be extremely important. So if you have not studied yet, so I cannot give you any mantra for the last 3 days. But yes, if you have prepared well, I think geometry and arithmetic is the area to focus on.